What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the effortlessly effervescent Dr. Disaster, and now that the entire season of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who has been released, we can see what the effect of telling fans to go touch grass really was.
So long, gay boys!
When people criticized the look of the new Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa piped in and said we were all a bunch of ists and phobes, and he told us to go outside and touch grass, and we did. The fanbase said sayonara to Doctor Who. The numbers are in, as I will show you. This season has the lowest average views per episode of any Doctor Who in the history of the modern era by a country mile. Doctor Who got its ass beat by the undefeated champion, touching grass.
Oh man, bring it! Come on, bring it!
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, as I told you, this season of Doctor Who was an absolute mess that got destroyed in its viewership. We have the final numbers for all but the last episode, and based on the overnight numbers for the Empire of Death, the 8th episode of the season, it will not fare any better than the first 7 episodes. So anyways, if we do some math, we can calculate that the average 7-day viewership for this season has been a paltry 3.71 million views per episode.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, you'd almost feel bad for these bozos if it weren't for all the touching grass comments and stuff like that, which came from the cast and the writers. But now, let's compare this to the other seasons of the modern era. Christopher Eccleston's only season, the first of the modern era of Doctor Who, averaged damn near 8 million views per episode at about 7.95 million. David Tennant's first season saw an average of 7.71 million. His second season saw an average of about 7.55 million. And then, in his final season, Tennant crushed it, getting over 8 million views per episode at 8.04 million.
Holy shit!
The 5th season, of course, saw the introduction of Matt Smith. His first season, they got 7.73 million views per episode on average. Smith's second season, they averaged roughly 7.52 million, and in his last season, Smith's Who got 7.44 million views per episode. The 8th season was the first with Capaldi. He scored about 7.26 million views per episode. The 9th season dropped a good chunk, going down to 6.03 million views on each episode, and then Capaldi's final season dropped to 5.45 million. And then we got Jodie Whittaker's season, and the so-called modern audience swooped in and said, "Get out of here, all you old school Whovians." And the modern audience did show up, and they averaged just under 8 million views per episode at 7.95 million. However, I maintain that the reason this was the case is because it was a curiosity to see a non-male Doctor Who. It was a gimmick, and it worked at first, but not for long, because the posers who try to kick us out of these spaces aren't actually fans themselves. They are tourists who thrive on destroying the enjoyment of others. That, and the fact that the quality of the writing was shit, crushed the viewership for the next season, which plummeted down to about 5.4 million views. Shit was so bad for the show after this season that they only had 6 episodes in season 13, and for those episodes they averaged under 5 million views at about 4.95 million.
Well, that sucks.
But as crappy as that number is, put this into perspective. Ncuti Gatwa's season averaged over 1 million less than Jodie Whittaker's catastrophic final season. It was so bad with Whittaker that we took a miniature hiatus from the show and didn't see anything more than a few specials here and there for about 3 years. They got a new showrunner, but things have gotten worse. Russell T. Davies recently discussed the fact that Disney has not opted to renew their contract with them beyond the second Ncuti Gatwa series, and I don't blame them. With this kind of viewership, and remember that the show hasn't shown up on the Nielsen Top 10 for original program streaming in the United States yet, meaning it hasn't done well on Disney Plus either. But with this level of disinterest, I could totally see the show get dropped for a retirement period, much like they did in the 90s. Nobody cares about Doctor Who any longer, or as I like to call him, Doctor.
What the hell is even that?
But I'm going to leave it there. What do you think? With these numbers in mind, what are the chances that this show gets picked up again after Ncuti's second season? Drop your thoughts down below and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.